community-centered. You can see CommuNFTy, a fun little word that I made up because it's crypto and we can do that. Protecting your most valuable asset. It's not what you hold in your wallet, but it's ultimately your people and the community that you built around you. We'll welcome Munam Wasi to the stage. He is COO of Delegate, formerly Delegate Cash. So feel free to come on up and take a seat. And then we've got Amanda Cassatt. I told you I'm going to butcher names and pronunciations all day. She is the founder and CEO of Serotonin and Mojito. So I'm actually going to shift over here because my seat was sinking earlier. So now we're on equal level.
Testing. Okay.
And, yeah, mic's good. Everyone can hear. Welcome, guys, to the community focus panel. I mean, it's, in my opinion, the most important and kind of the most distinguishing factor with Web3 is building community. You have a Web3 marketing firm. You have a big hand in onboarding Web2 companies or large enterprises onto the blockchain and shifting to Web3. Munam, you have the responsibility of building the technology that is securing people's digital assets. And you know, anytime you're operating a company in Web3, the biggest, well, maybe not the biggest, but one of the risks associated with that is you've got users that might not use the technology properly, or they might give permission, sign a transaction that's not supposed to be signed. Munam is at the forefront of helping prevent and minimize that risk. So Amanda, I want you to introduce yourself a little bit, what got you into the space and what you've been building.
Yeah, happy to. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Amanda Cassatt, aka Amanda.eth. I started working on the Ethereum project in 2015, ended up as the first chief marketing officer at Consensus from nearly the beginning through 2019, where we built the first Web3 marketing team, brought Ethereum to market along with MetaMask, Infura, Truffle, Gitcoin, the Consensus brand, and also thousands of things that did and did not work, and learned a lot from those as well. Started Serotonin nearly 4 years ago, largest Web3 native marketing agency and other services firm. We now do recruiting and legal and strategy and advisory and work not just with Web3 native startups, which are our bread and butter, but also with some of the Web2 players coming across into Web3. We've been known for bringing Sotheby's into Web3, but also a lot of the big TradFi players lately, like the Robinhoods and PayPals of the world. Yeah, so been with this movement for a good minute.
Munam,
hey everyone, I'm Munam Wasi. I actually come from like a biotech and science background. Started my career as like a researcher at Stanford Med, but I discovered Bitcoin years and years ago in high school on sort of the dark corners of the internet and lost a lot of money trading it, but had a great time doing so. So naturally made the decision not to become a college professor because I'm too dumb to do that. And number two, this is a hell of a lot more fun. And we built clusters and Delegate. Delegate is a crypto asset security protocol. Long story short, it's like a crypto power of attorney. You can have one wallet signed for another wallet. That way you never ever get hacked, never lose your underlying assets. You stay completely safe. In cruder English, it's like a condom for your wallet. Keeps you safe out there. And I think as of 2 months ago, we were securing 1.3 billion in assets for 185,000 users. Every single ETH blue chip project from Yuga to Azuki's to Art Blocks to VanEck, Collabland, Token Proof, I can kind of list them all, has used us and helped keep people safe. And then on February 1st, we launched Clusters, which is our new namespace product, and it natively resolves on not just the EVM, but also, Bitcoin and Solana and 43 other chains. And so, just as she's Amanda ETH, I'm Munam Slash, and hopefully we'll get you to Amanda Slash.
If you get me Amanda Dot for 80 years, then I will add it to my bio.
Amanda Slash.
Slash.
There we go.
And Delegate is securing, I think on the website it was 850 million in as far as assets that you're securing across all these communities and Is that right? Is that correct?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
That's where we're at. We had one of our vaults did a $300 million transaction, so we lost the unicorn status, and prices went down. But soon they'll go back up.
Exactly. With the bull market, that's what we
Here,
right?
yeah.
So, anyways, Amanda, in some of I like to do some research behind the scenes and get a feel for kind of what the experience is and what you've built. Mojito is very interesting to me in that I'm from Florida, so I saw the Tampa Bay Rays as one of the clients. So could you share with the audience what y'all are doing with them?
Yeah. So Serotonin uses its profits to build one software company a year, raise venture into it, and spin it out. Our first one of these was Mojito, which we spun out in 2021. Sotheby's invested along with CAA and a number of other great firms. And what we've done with Mojito is bring a lot of interesting kind of arts and IP from Pernod, Mercedes, Sotheby's itself and its various artists, CAA and their artists into Web3. So that grail of Shopify that's enterprise grade for letting any company sell Web3 digital goods in a store that just is a normal web store, that is Mojito. And it's really the only thing like that survived the NFT bear market, and it's doing quite well.
A lot of NFTs are sitting in the almost zero floor price.
Well, here's the thing with that, and you can verify this all over the place, but the NFT use case of fine arts has product market fit. Regardless of crypto cycles, because the value of those NFTs comes from the artist, and they've chosen Web3 as their medium. And if you're talking about like a Tyler Hobbs, or the value depends on who the artist is. It's not just about crypto market cycle, and it's just a lagging indicator behind crypto market cycle, the same way that the current art market is a lagging indicator behind the global currency markets.
Mhm.
And so that use case has fit.
Yeah, and we could talk about that for probably hours. I want to make sure that we focus on kind of the point of the discussion of being around community. You've been a part of accelerating a lot of communities and the growth initiatives behind a lot of various projects that shift to companies to whatever it may be. Share a little bit about what sort of maybe even tips, tricks, or things that you found helpful with community growth, and maybe even how the problems that you've been solving along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote a book myself called Web3 Marketing that came out last year from Wiley, the first Web3 business book, and it's actually coming out in Mandarin this year. But I thought, we've been helping all of these brands and projects create communities. Why not put my money where my mouth is and also do the same thing at a small creator scale for my own book? And so on the first page of each of the books is a unique code that lets you claim an NFT, and then you can use that on a Collabland gated Telegram chat to chat with all of the other people that also did that and bought the book and went through that process. So it's actually like a friction gated community intentionally, where we've identified the people that actually care enough about the content to come and chat with each other. And it's an incredible group of marketing professionals in Web3 having really interesting conversations. And so what's different here between Web 2 and Web 3 is normally when you create a piece of content, you have this relationship that's abstract with all of these people that bought it or that consumed it. But now those people also have a relationship with each other. And they're chatting all, as the day is long while I'm here. And then I can come and chat with them too. And so it's it's just a more engaged style of consuming content than a style that we've had in the past, proving that you're a real buyer of that content and having a verifiable relationship with the creator and with your fellow fans. And I think that's a game changer.
100% agree.
I'm going to answer this in two ways. Number one, as sort of a crossover between our worlds. I was on the core team of Constitution DAO. I actually bought their URLs and still pay for them. And
we were helping Sotheby's deal with that sale.
No, absolutely. And that was, a community that sort of captured a moment in time. It was a little bit of luck, but it was also intentionality around tying in real world values and tying in a real world onboarding process and telling a great story. I know that, storytelling is always a cliche that people talk about, but I think we really sort of touch some cultural inflection points at that moment in time where we try to tell a story about, this is crypto and technology that represents ownership, and how does this overlap with, this broader political concept and legacy of the Constitution as a document that we can onboard. So that was a community that was born on the basis of a single item that has cultural significance that we could all coalesce around, and obviously everybody had interacted with it just by virtue of living in a world in which the Constitution was a dominant document. The second thing that I'd answer this is, communities were the way that we bootstrap Delegate to, I think the heights that it has reached with just a super small team. We are just a team of 4, and we have stayed just a team of 4 despite all of this volume because we've taken a community-driven approach. If you're able to give someone an amazing experience with one thing that they're passionate about, whether it's one token or one DeFi product or one Collabland gated community, they're going to demand that same experience everywhere else they go, especially if it's keeping them safe. So we were very intentional about finding the most high quality communities to work with. And the trickle down effects are absolutely real. The first people we worked with were Forgotten Runes. And, very quickly off of that, we were very privileged to have as some of our first customers, Collabland itself, Art Blocks, Yugo Labs, OpenSea, these sort of preeminent players in the space. And that was all off of ensuring that someone got a great experience. To us, user education and user security is the Web3 proxy for customer service, because no crypto company has a phone number you can call. They have to be intuitive and they have to make you feel safe. And that to us is great customer service. And that's something that, once someone gets a good experience, nothing else is acceptable.
Mm-hmm. So, and what are you noticing as far as in the specifically real world assets? How do you see that evolving with Delegate? And now people have a physical asset tied to the digital, there's now this merging. How do you envision Delegate playing a role in that and the importance of that?
There's this joke that pops up on Twitter that's like, what if your mortgage is tokenized and you click on a phishing link on Google and someone else is living in your house? If we sort of go away from the absurdity of that and we think about it, assets when they're on chain, are codified within obviously on-chain tech systems, but also legal systems. And if ownership and claim rights are governed by a smart contract, we have to ensure that there is a safety barrier over here. That's how we've built up Delegate. And as a great example, I'll tell you about our Delegate Marketplace product, which lets you, through a programmatic escrow, trustlessly trade rights associated with assets. We beta tested this product with Rolling Loud. They're one of the world's largest concert series, and they release these NFTs called Loud Punks. And these Loud Punks cost tens of thousands of dollars, but they afforded you lifetime VIP access rights. I'm in Lisbon right now. If I hypothetically had a Loud Punk and the concert is in, my home of Los Angeles, I'd be a little bummed that I'm missing out on $1,000 worth of a VIP ticket. We saw people at originally high value, token gated events would literally send their buddy the NFT in line and pray that their buddy didn't get hacked, didn't put a typo in sending it back, or just decided, they weren't that good of a buddy to begin with and walked away with it. The cool thing about how we've built up Delegate is that people were able to trade ticketing rights through a programmatic escrow. Nobody risked the actual underlying asset, but you could still power a transaction and a commerce, exchange over here and literally sell your ticketing rights to someone. That's a very abstract concept that doesn't exist in the real world, but I think that's the future of RWAs on chain, is being able to programmably give someone the benefits. If you own commodities, I should be able to derive yield from the commodities without needing to hold them themselves. And we should all stay safe in that transaction.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming up on time that I've been a part of now. I guess this is our third panel discussion. The time flies by. So I'm always sad to see it go. Before we get into closing comments and thoughts, I'm curious what you're noticing with these enterprises and these large corporations in the space, specifically the RWA space.
Well, so there's an incentive to bring all value and types of value on chain. And traders want to hedge with different kinds of commodities, different kinds of on-chain stuff in order to create baskets for people to invest in. And also people don't want to take their value off-chain that they have on-chain and pay all of the fees to transition it out. And so it's basically just logical that almost the same way that like fiat currency is coming on chain, Tether being the greatest business ever to exist, literally by revenue to employee headcount. So everything's coming on chain. RWAs are no exception. It's actually kind of funny that that's even a category because that category is so diverse, right? It's everything from a piece of art to a mortgage to like buying and selling oil, which has nothing to do with how those other things are traded. But yeah, it's just logical. There's more big enterprise getting into the space now through the ETFs. We work with a number of those issuers. They're soon going to move on from Bitcoin and ETH ETFs into like weirder baskets of stuff. And as we get there, we'll have some RWAs in those baskets for sure.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get into some closing comments. Thought if you have anything you want to promote or whatever it may be. Munam, let's go with you first, and then we'll get to Amanda.
Well, we've created a new namespace called clusters. And the cool thing about clusters, it's all of your chains and all of your wallets under one beautiful umbrella. And we built very powerful, anti-squatting features in it so that you can get the name that you want and not have to worry about getting built out of, a lot of ETH for it. And we built it to advance and sort of grow with you and give you a same amazing democratic experience, no matter what chain you're on. I think that would be something that everybody would like. And we've already started to get some great integrations, and we've built up a very powerful profile aggregator. So you can see, your ordinals and your NFTs and your tokens and your meme coins and, even the stuff you don't want to see all under one hood, get the value of it, and be able to sort of use that socially. The way this protocol is sort of developing out is, if I own Amanda money and I own her on ETH and I don't want to pay ETH gas fees, instead of asking her what her Solana address is or her base address is, I'm able to just send it to Amanda / and it should resolve to her automatically. So we built that towards the future. I think, everybody here could benefit from it, especially since if you're going to try new products, you can name them and house them under one hood and, have an experience that you control.
Yeah. Clusters are very exciting. Definitely encourage everyone to check it out.
And we have a cute mascot.
There you go. Amanda, go ahead, closing thoughts.
Yeah, everything you guys are doing in the abstraction space and people just doing abstraction in general, I think that's going to be great for consumers as long as it's actually safe. At Serotonin, if you guys are doing if you're working at a TradFi company that's getting into Web3, if you're working at a Web3 startup that needs marketing or any other kinds of services, we're doing some really wild stuff. We are assembling the biggest inventory of advertising network in crypto for reaching crypto audiences. And we've created a Web2, Web3 stack with wallet awareness. So that's understanding how the marketing funnel works even after things get on chain. So you can actually track the actions that people are doing on chain once they've started using your product. So we're innovating a lot in terms of the paid programmatic growth marketing stack and bringing it into Web3 with partners like Spindle. Antonio Garcia, who built the original Facebook marketing, the Facebook ad product. We've gotten very into some geographic arbitrage. We know a lot about the various Asian markets now. I've moved to Hong Kong. We're growing our APAC team a lot. And there's a lot of really cool access to real high quality users and developers in the various Asian markets that we know a lot about right now. And we're also bringing a lot of those projects global. So that's something we're super excited about. And then finally, we're going to build a new product this year that actually is going to be built on TON, the Telegram blockchain. I would say just some alpha, Telegram is the 6th most downloaded app in the Apple App Store. They're on track to have 1 billion users within a year, and they're going full crypto with TON and the Telegram wallet. And if you can build some mini apps on there and for your wallet and get some users into your application. It's probably the fastest access to distribution. So we're building in that direction too.
Lots of alpha on this talk. Thank you all for joining. Everyone, please give them a round of applause for joining.
Thank you.
Just in closing, we have a gift of tokenized wine for y'all, and then we'd like to get a picture. Audience, we'll have about a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for a discussion surrounding tangible luxury. So join us for that in about 5 minutes.